Folks usually don't bat an eye when an on-screen couple gets together in real life, but it gets a little weird when those actors play family members. After 7 years on Gilmore Girls, Lauren Graham took a break from TV before taking on the role of another single mom in the comedy drama Parenthood. Sarah Braverman, played by Graham, is the mom to Mae Whitman's Amber and Miles Heiser's Drew. In the series, Graham also shares the screen with 911 star Peter Krause, who plays her on-screen brother Adam. Although the two play siblings in the series, it didn't stop them from falling in love in real life.
What was that
With
like?
the secret
You guys
shit.
have a secret or something?
Graham has her Gilmore Girls TV mom, Kelly Bishop, to thank for encouraging her to date Krause. The pair had a natural chemistry, but Graham told People magazine that they were both hesitant to act on it because of past unsuccessful relationships they'd had with co-stars. But in 2010, having worked together for 2 years, they decided to take the plunge. Ultimately, Graham felt that working in the same industry actually ended up being a benefit, telling People, "It's hard to explain to people when you have a fancy job like being an actor what is challenging about it. So we just kind of have that shorthand, a shared language, which is helpful." Unfortunately, their differences caught up with them, and they separated after over a decade together. During their relationship, Graham took on an important stepmotherly role in Krause's son Roman's life, which she planned to continue even after the breakup. Anna Kendrick and Bill Hader play the adult children of Santa Claus, who saved Christmas in the 2019 Disney Plus holiday movie Noel, and playing movie siblings led to a romantic relationship off-screen. A source told Us Weekly, "Bill and Anna clicked right away. They dig each other's sense of humor." However, the source added that nothing happened between the two until they were both single at the same time. In January 2022, sources revealed that Kendrick and Hader were dating and had been keeping their relationship quiet for under a year. According to Cosmopolitan's math, Kendrick and Hader got together sometime between July and December 2020. With speculation about the status of their relationship rampant, a source told ET, Bill and Anna are in love and very happy in their relationship and enjoying their time together.
I admire your Shakti,
Your what?
your female energy.
Hader didn't respond to the comments, choosing to keep their relationship private for the sake of his 3 daughters. Later that month, he told The Hollywood Reporter, "They just want me to be their dad." Kendrick is also notoriously private about her relationships. Unfortunately, things didn't last for these on-screen sibs, with ET reporting that the two broke up in June 2022. David Tennant has played some impressive roles throughout his career, from Barty Crouch Jr. in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire to Kilgrave in Jessica Jones and Crowley in Good Omens. But of course, his most iconic role will always be playing the 10th Doctor in the BBC's Doctor Who. And it's the role that keeps on giving, introducing him to his now wife, Georgia Moffett, who played Tennant's genetically engineered daughter on the show.
Hello, Dad.
The pair started dating in 2008 and married on December 30th, 2011. Speaking on Gabby Rosling's podcast, Tennant admitted, "Because Doctor Who had run through my life like a stick of rock, to end up marrying the daughter of one of the doctors, it all felt a bit stupid. There were a lot of things against it." However, Moffat, who is the real-life daughter of the 5th Doctor, played by Peter Davison, didn't give up on their connection, and ultimately it all worked out. Tennant shared, "You reach a point of your life when you're looking for someone, and it's sort of chance which version of that perfect partner ambles along." As of 2024, the actors are still happily married and share 5 kids together, including House of the Dragon actor Ty Tennant. Barry Williams and Maureen McCormick are better known as Marcia and Greg Brady, siblings from the Brady Bunch, in which they starred from 1969 to 1974. Tales of their off-screen relationship are infamous, and they have both been open about their time together. In fact, McCormick and Williams first kissed while shooting the first episode of Season 4 in Hawaii.
On the beach with all those girls? That's my kind of picnic.
In McCormick's book, Here's the Story, Surviving Marcia Brady and Finding My True Voice, she writes, "There was so much electricity between us that I felt the hair on my arm stand up every time we got close to each other. I thought about Barry even when I had other scenes with other guys. I used to ask myself how I could ever look in eyes other than his liquid blues and feel such love." But despite their strong feelings, the on-off relationship between these screen siblings eventually fizzled out, with McCormick saying that timing got in their way. However, the former couple are still close friends decades after their split. In 2006, Jennifer Carpenter and Michael C. Hall met on the set of Dexter. Hall played Dexter Morgan, while Carpenter played his sister, Deborah. At some point between their first meeting in 2008, the pair got together.
I
went to the church that night that you killed Travis Marshall to tell you that I'm in love with you.
You're in love with me?
They eloped on New Year's Eve 2008, marrying in a private ceremony in Big Sur. As Carpenter gushed to On Demand Entertainment, "We had a great base for our relationship. We see each other on a day-to-day basis, and I know him and he knows me. And the fact that they played siblings didn't make things weird." Carpenter shared, "At the end of a 12 or 13-hour day, it's pretty easy to drop your character and go home and want to be a normal person and, veg on the couch." Things took a turn in 2009 when Heigl was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, a form of cancer. But Carpenter supported him until he was in remission. The pair seemed stronger than ever, but sadly, it didn't last. They divorced in 2011, but continued to play siblings on the show until 2013, and followed that with the 2021 limited series sequel, Dexter: New Blood. Carpenter told Today that they'll always be friends, saying, "Just because the marriage ended doesn't mean the love isn't still there." Emily VanCamp and Chris Pratt are both known for starring in the MCU, with VanCamp playing Peggy Carter's niece, Sharon Carter, and Pratt traversing the galaxy as Star-Lord. But over a decade before their superhero adventures, the actors worked together on Everwood, which ran from 2002 to 2006, playing siblings Amy and Bright Abbott, and they fell in love on set. In 2006, Pratt admitted that he felt a little weird being in a romantic relationship with his on-screen sister, as did fans, saying, "Yeah, we've pretty much gotten used to the response of, 'Ew, that's weird.' The people who know us are happy and probably expected it to happen eventually." VanCamp and Pratt ultimately ignored the haters and dated from 2004 to 2007 before going their separate ways. VanCamp is now happily married to her Revenge co-star, Josh Bowman, with whom she shares a daughter, while Pratt has a son with his ex, Anna Faris, and 2 daughters with his wife, Katherine Schwarzenegger. Katherine Heigl goes by many names. To many of her fans, she's the queen of aughts romantic comedies, while to others, she'll always be Izzy Stevens from Grey's Anatomy. Before all of that though, Heigl was Isabel Evans in the sci-fi drama Roswell from 1999 to 2002, alongside Shiri Appleby, Brendan Fair, and Jason Behr, who played her on-screen adopted brother Max. Isabel and Max were close, but not as close as Heigl and Behr, who dated off-screen for most of the show's run.
Max, I know you. You only ever listen to the Counting Crows when you're really upset.
Although they largely kept their relationship out of the public eye during this time, there was enough attention on the actors to spark romance rumors before they split in 2002. Behr moved on from their relationship after meeting fellow actor Katie Strickland on the set of The Grudge. The pair married in 2006 and welcomed a son in 2020. Meanwhile, Heigl married musician Josh Kelly the following year. The couple shares 3 children. Before she became a household name for starring opposite Patrick Swayze in Dirty Dancing, Jennifer Grey played Jeannie Bueller in the iconic 80s teen comedy Ferris Bueller's Day Off, alongside Matthew Broderick.
Bite the big one, Junior.
As Ferris and Jeannie, Broderick and Grey have a tumultuous sibling relationship, but their relationship off-screen was anything but acrimonious. In her memoir, Out of the Corner, Grey wrote, "I was as surprised as anyone when our relationship morphed from on-screen sibling rivalry to off-screen illicit romance. The couple did everything they could to keep their romance under wraps, but they were so enamored with each other that they got engaged before filming ended." But Grey said her breakout role in Dirty Dancing took a toll on their relationship, admitting that she felt unsupported by Broderick. At that point, the couple was still hiding their relationship, but the truth came out when they were involved in a serious car crash in Northern Ireland in 1987. It was the beginning of the end for the couple, who called it quits the following year.
I was engaged to Matthew Broderick and Johnny Depp in the same month.
Broderick went on to marry Sex and the City star Sarah Jessica Parker, while Grey married Marvel star Clark Gregg. Grey and Gregg were together for 19 years before calling it quits in 2020. Before he was embroiled in a tangled love triangle on The Vampire Diaries, Ian Somerhalder played Boone Carlyle in the early seasons of Lost, alongside Maggie Grace, who played his stepsister, Shannon Rutherford. Although they played siblings on the show, Boone and Shannon weren't related by blood, and in a flashback scene, it was revealed they had a brief fling before the plane crash. Off-screen, Somerhalder and Grace ended up dating. The timeline of their romance is a little fuzzy, but they got together while filming and later confirmed it in interviews. At the time, Grace told Glamour, "Ian's great, I adore him. although I'm only 22, far too young to even think about having a serious relationship. Their relationship grew more serious as time went on, and they adopted a cat called Rue together after finding him roaming around on set. But the romance didn't last. After they split, Somerhalder dated his Vampire Diaries love interest, Nina Dobrev, before marrying Twilight star Nikki Reed in 2015. The couple shared 2 children. Meanwhile, Grace moved on with Blake Mycoskie and then Matthew Cook, before getting together with Brent Bushnell in 2016. Before Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds became Hollywood's golden couple and Penn Badgley married Domino Kirk, Lively and Badgley were hot and heavy on the set of Gossip Girl. They started dating while filming the first season in 2007 before calling it quits in 2010. On screen, Lively and Badgley's characters Serena and Dan had a complicated relationship. Not only did they have a serious on-again, off-again romance that eventually resulted in marriage, but they were step-siblings for quite a while and even shared a sibling. They didn't let it get too awkward on set when they split and had to continue working together, even though Badgley did admit that it wasn't brilliant having to kiss each other all the time. When the series ended in 2012, Lively and Badgley went their separate ways. Badgley admitted that the former couple don't really keep in touch but aren't on bad terms, telling HuffPost, "There's an amicable silence." Before movies like Saturday Night Fever and Grease made John Travolta a household name, he starred in the ABC movie The Boy in the Plastic Bubble. He played Todd Lubick, and Diana Hyland played his mom. Despite Hyland being 18 years older than Travolta, the pair shared an instant connection and started dating about a month after working together. Travolta and Hyland fell head over heels in love and dated for just over a year. Then, tragedy struck. Hyland died from breast cancer in 1997 at the age of 41. She received a terminal prognosis just 2 weeks earlier and passed away in Travolta's arms. Hyland's death devastated Travolta, who told People magazine, "I picked out a house, and Diana and I were planning on moving in right after this movie. If she was alive, it is very possible I would have married her. I have never been more in love with anyone in my life." The actor eventually married Kelly Preston, and they had 3 children together. However, like Hyland, Preston died from breast cancer in 2020. Like Boone and Shannon in Lost or Serena and Dan in Gossip Girl, the relationship between Lily Collins and Jamie Campbell Bower's characters, Clary and Jace in the Mortal Instruments City of Bones, was complicated. When they meet at the beginning of the film, they're strangers. It's soon revealed that they may be long-lost siblings, but not before the pair develop romantic feelings for each other and share a kiss. They then try to act like siblings before they discover they're not related after all. The romance between their characters sparked real chemistry between Collins and Bower, who started dating while filming the movie in 2012. They were on and off for the next 3 years until they split for good in 2015. Prior to their breakup, the co-stars seemed happier than ever. Sharing a sweet snap of Bower kissing her cheek on Instagram, Collins wrote, "Happy is what happy does, 50 shades of blush." However, their relationship may not have been as sweet as it looked. In 2023, Collins, now married to film director Charlie McDowell, revealed that she was in an emotionally abusive relationship a decade ago, around the same time she dated Bower, although she didn't name the ex in question. Cole Sprouse and Lili Reinhart's Riverdale characters, Jughead Jones and Betty Cooper, are another case of TV step-siblings who hooked up. Their relationship began early in the show, before their parents got together. But when the Jonases moved into the Cooper house, Jughead started rooming with his girlfriend/stepsister. Sprouse and Reinhart became a couple in real life too. They got together in 2017 and appeared very much in love before splitting in 2020. Reflecting on their relationship on the Call Her Daddy podcast, Sprouse said, "I think we did the best we could. I'm very grateful in very many ways. I was able to go through it with someone who was going through the exact same set of circumstances as me." He added that working together eventually put a strain on them, sharing, "If I loved myself a little more, I probably would have left a little earlier, but I just felt like I had to take care of a lot of people around me, which was not good for me." According to Sprouse, the pair eventually built a strong friendship that continued for the rest of their time on Riverdale, which ended in 2023. Jolie Richardson and John Hensley played mother and son, Julia and Matt McNamara in FX's Nip Tuck, appearing in 100 episodes apiece. While Julia has several on-screen relationships, Hensley's character repeatedly gets involved with older women. This mirrored Hensley's real-life relationship with Richardson, who was 12 years older. The pair started dating a year into the show's run in 2004. They were together for about a year before calling it quits, but continued working together for several years afterward. Hensley's feelings for Richardson Richardson seemed to be pretty serious from the way he gushed about her at the time. In an interview with ContactMusic.com, he said, "Joel is pretty damn incredible. She's in a different league altogether, and every time I step on the set with her, I feel I learn something." The pair have said very little else about their relationship since, preferring to keep their private lives under wraps. Milo Ventimiglia starred in Heroes from 2006 to 2010, playing Peter Petrilli, the uncle of Hayden Panettiere's Claire Bennett, but their on-screen familial status didn't stop their off-screen connection.
You saved my life. You forgot to mention that we were related.
A family friend confirmed their relationship in 2007, telling people, "Hayden's mom adores Milo. She thinks he's so cute. She tells her friends that he's her boyfriend. She's very proud." However, to some fans, the couple's age gap was controversial. Panettiere was just 17 when they met and 18 when they began dating, while Ventimiglia was 29. At the time, Ventimiglia didn't want to fan the media flames of their relationship, denying anything romantic and claiming they were just good friends. However, Ventimiglia and Panettiere ended up staying together for almost 2 years. Although they didn't publicly comment on their split, a source told People, they lead different lifestyles. He's 31, she's 19. She still has growing up to do, and he's very low-key. According to the outlet, the pair remained cordial, and they continued to work on Heroes together until its conclusion. History repeated itself when Jennifer Aniston and Charlie Schlatter fell in love on the set of Ferris Bueller, a 1990s TV spin-off based on Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Played siblings Jeannie and Ferris Bueller, the same characters Jennifer Grey and Matthew Broderick brought to life in John Hughes' movie a few years earlier. Although Aniston was yet to reach the level of fame starring in Friends would ultimately give her, she didn't go unnoticed on set. In 2014, Ferris Bueller writer's assistant Jim Nelson revealed that she and her on-screen brother were involved in a relationship while filming. Writing for GQ, he shared, "Everyone on set thought she was hot, including Schlatter, with whom she had a brief, torrid romance, while playing, it must be said, his older sister." However, neither Aniston nor Schlatter have publicly commented on their relationship. At some point, it came to an end, as Aniston would go on to date, marry, and divorce Brad Pitt in the early 2000s, and do the same with Justin Theroux a decade later. Meanwhile, Schlatter found love with Colleen Gunderson, whom he married in 1994. Most of the couples on this list fell head over heels for each other, even if only for a short time. But in the case of the Partridge Family, stars Susan Day and David Cassidy, it seems to be a case of unrequited love. Day played Laurie Partridge, the sister to Cassidy's Keith in the popular 1970s sitcom. Despite their on-screen sibling status, Day quickly fell for her co-star. Cassidy knew about her feelings, and when the show ended in 1974, they briefly pursued a relationship that culminated in a one-night stand. However, Cassidy's feelings for his co-star weren't the same as Day's, and ultimately, he rejected her.
Do you think they're really relevant?
Relevant? One lousy sit-in and suddenly she's Joan Baez.
2 decades later, Cassidy revealed the details of their relationship, explaining in his 1994 tell-all, "Come on, get happy, fear and loathing on the Partridge Family bus, I find a certain sluttiness very attractive in a woman, and Susan just didn't have it." David later admitted to Desert News that he lost touch with Day in the early 1990s, probably because he aired details of their failed romance in his books. Day found love with Leonard Hershen, with whom she had a daughter. They later divorced, and she married TV producer Bernard Safransky in 1988. Meanwhile, before his death in 2017, Cassidy racked up a series of marriages and divorces and had 2 children, a son, Beau, with his 3rd wife, Sue Schifrin, and a daughter, Arrow star Katie Cassidy, from an affair with model Sherry Williams. Nell Tiger Free and Dean Charles Chapman starred in Game of Thrones as siblings Myrcella and Tommen Baratheon, who, as any of the fans of the show will know, were actually Lannister children resulting from Cersei's affair with Jaime. The young stars joined the fantasy drama in seasons 5 and 3, respectively, to play their teenage versions of the characters and remained on the show until their characters' untimely deaths in season 5 and season 6. When the 5th season began airing in 2015, Free and Chapman were 15 and 17, and it wasn't long before outlets like Elite Daily and TV Guide reported that they were dating. The pair kept their relationship on the down low, but a series of social media posts revealed a few details about their time together. In pictures Free posted on X, the pair seemingly took a vacation and attended a festival together. When they were apart, Free posted, "Miss you, Dean C. Chapman." She added a heart to the end of her message. It seems like Free and Chapman's relationship may have fizzled out, as the pair haven't posted anything together lately. They may both be too busy concentrating on their careers, as Free has has gone on to star in Apple TV Plus's popular horror drama Servant, while Chapman has starred in a string of blockbusters, including 1917. Before she began an infamous relationship with Brad Pitt after meeting on the set of Mr. and Mrs. Smith while he was married to Jennifer Aniston, Angelina Jolie sparked romance rumors with Colin Farrell. Jolie played Farrell's mom in the 2004 historical drama Alexander. While they never publicly confirmed their romance, several outlets reported that the pair had a relationship that was more than familial. They were spotted spending time together away from the set in Egypt and again at several nightclubs in London. Nothing came out of it in the early 2000s, however, and Jolie moved on to a relationship with Pitt. 15 years later, after divorcing Pitt, rumors of a romance between Jolie and Farrell began to circulate once again. A source close to the couple told Life and Style, "They've always had a deep connection, and since Angie's breakup from Brad, Colin has been back in touch. They really like and respect each other. They have talked about getting together, probably in London, and soon." It's unclear whether the former co-stars ever met up after Jolie's divorce, but it's obvious they developed strong feelings for each other after working on Alexander. Recently, Jolie has been focused on being there for her 6 kids since her divorce from Pitt, while Farrell has been busy making career moves as Gotham's mob boss, Oswald Cobblepot, aka the Penguin. Jamie Lynn Sigler and Robert Eyler are best known for playing siblings Meadow and AJ in The Sopranos. The family crime drama premiered in 1999 and ran until 2007. When the series ended, Sigler and Eyler were rumored to be romantically involved, and Hollywood.com reported that they dated for several months in 2017 after they were spotted at a Las Vegas nightclub together. At the time, Sigler tried to deny she and Eyler were together, but managed to gush about him to Foster's Daily Democrat, saying, "I truly love him and we've always looked out for each other." Any potential romantic relationship between them never got more attention in the press, and they've remained close in the years since. In fact, the on-screen siblings even host a podcast together called Not Today Pal, where they discuss their friendship, life, and pop culture, covering everything from dating to their favorite foods. Speaking on their relationship in the present day, Sigler told Business Insider, "Robert and I are best friends, and we're still as close as we are because the experience we all went through was really unique."